Hey guys, today I'm back to do a review of my top 32 game at the German Nationals to see if I could have done anything. I'll leave like my socials here where to contact me in the description down below. So yeah, now let's begin the match. So yeah, I lose the dice roll in this game, which was pretty devastating for this matchup, and I didn't open any breakers, which was kind of bad. And yeah, let's just revert a bit. So my hand was like Foolish Burial, Cold by the Grave, Albas, Opening, I think. Let me see again. So it was like Cold by the Grave, Foolish, Albas, Opening, and Spring and Skid. And I forgot what was the top deck. I'll just check. But yeah, the hand wasn't like very good to break boards. And he starts with like a very good board here. You'll see like in a minute. Or for those who watched the match. So yeah, he just starts with Imseti discarding Ash, which was pretty weird decision. Because like I told him I play 50 cards, so that just means I like literally play like any POW deck or just brand it in general. So it was just a pretty weird decision to discard this, or he just valued his own other combo pieces more. So that was just pretty weird for me, but yeah, here he just does full combo anyway. So yeah, he just starts with like the Horus stuff here to make the Photon War, which is like a one monster negate, and also he protects his combo from Nibiru that way. And now he can just proceed with like the rest of his full combo, which is like Nimble Angler to summon two Beavers, and then he special summons Spright Blue, which is like even better now. And he special summons like Jet then. But that's also good part for me because that way I also know more of his hand. And for Branded that's always good because like the more the more of the interruptions you know, the easier you play through them. Because if he had like two hand traps instead of like the two knowing interruptions, it's gonna be harder to play against them because I already know the information and I already know like how to start playing. Whereas if he had like two hand traps, I don't know which ones they are and I don't know how to play around them most efficiently. So that could have costed me like the game. But yeah, he just like starts with Nervo here. And then he just makes Ferigit, a Ferigit effect. Yeah, special summons the kit. Then kit effect. Yeah, he will just make probably the... Yeah, I think the board was like a 5 to 6 negates if I remember correctly. Which was like, well, 5 to 6 interruptions basically. Which was actually kind of tough to deal with. Especially without board breakers in my hand. Because honestly, like Droplet or Darkroom was like very good against this board. I only made a Droplet at that time, but like those two cards were like very good into that board. Which of course like not a lot of decks like play those game one. But yeah, like for my deck if I drew Droplet it was like probably just instantly game over. Or like I just played through the board easier that way. And he special summons the red now. And then he just overlays these two for Gigantic. Yeah, that's fine. Then Gigantic effect. So for now he just has like two monster negates, one bounce from Sprint, and then the Dragon Ward which is like two bounces. So it's like two bounces, two negates for now, and also the Sprite Carrot. And he also gets another draw with Ferigit, which is pretty good. He may draw like a non-engine from that as well. But yeah, he only puts back one. So yeah, at this point we also know this is like the Sprite Smashers that he added from Sprite Jet. So yeah, I remember like my hand right now was like opening, deployment, kit. Um, yeah, it was like opening, deployment, kit, caught by the grave, and yeah, two more cards which I'll remember. Like it was like a six engine hand. Oh, it was also foolish burial, yes. So yeah, I just always start with like foolish burial here. So at this point, from with Foolish Burial, if I dumped Tragedy, I know it wouldn't advise my game state because I already had like access to opening and Spring and Skit as ways to get branded spells. And like Kit is my normal summon for sure. I don't wanna like send more normal summons. So I would just send like I would just send like a Shrouded Dragon here because it's like pretty good if I wanna go for the Branded in red line. Which that was actually my goal because if I knew if I go for Branded Fusion he would just go Spright Carrot Negate, and Carrot negates effects, not activation. So means like if it negates this Branded Fusion, I cannot activate another one this turn anymore. So that's like a pretty good thing to know about Spright Carrot is if it negates the effect, Branded Fusion cannot be activated anymore this turn. If it negates activations, like Baron de Fleur did for example, or like Borlord Savage Dragon in the past, like you can activate another one, but if Spright Carrot negates it, you cannot. So my intention was never to like activate Branded Fusion. I just wanted to start baiting negates here with the fusion deployment. Um, I just wanted to like summon Cartesia, activate the effect, just to see if he baits like any of these negates. Because my hand was like Spring and Skit and Opening. I wanted like one of those to resolve to get like Branded in red. My goal was like never to start with Branded Fusion unless he wasted the Spright Carrot negate. So yeah, here I just go for Cartesia. Albas would also like make no sense here because if I use the effect also, he has like a million ways to stop it. At the very least, he can like if I go Chainlink 1 Albas, he goes Chainlink to Sprint to detach like from Gigantic and bounce it. So I cannot fuse anymore. Even if I summon it in attack, I cannot run over like the significant threats of the board, which are like Carrot and Red. I can only run over Sprint, which doesn't even matter. This is like the weakest interruption against Branded, if it's only alone. So yeah, you just need to play through the interruptions like much better. So just activate Cartesia now. I just want to see if he like wastes his negates here. So yeah, my hand was like Albas, Opening, Coldby, and Kid, Foolish, and Deployment. So yeah, the hand like wasn't the best to bait this board, just because it was like a lot. Like I needed like probably some board breaker, or like at least Branded Fusion, and then like some way to bait Carrot. But yeah, we still like play through it. Like it's just a lot of mind gaming at this point. So he uses the Spright Red to negate the Cartesia, which I guess that's fine. So actually what I was thinking here was to activate Opening in response to like red effect. Because if I go Opening, summon a Luber, and I go Chainlink 1 a Luber, and he activates Chainlink to Spring and Skid, he cannot negate it with like this guy, the Dragon Lord, but it didn't make sense to me to do so. Like, it just didn't make sense for me to do so. It's also a pretty good play because if I go for a Luber here, Chainlink 1, if he chooses to activate Spring and Skid Chainlink 2, he cannot negate the Luber anymore because technically I know all of his cards except the one from Ferrijit, but I cannot play around the hand trap in this board state. Like you just have to run over this board and then you have to like play only through the board and you just have to like pray he doesn't have like a hand trap in hand. So yeah, here he just goes for Skid, sends Nervo, and then Nervo will add like another into follow-up. So the rest of my hand right now is just Called by the Grave, Kit, Albas, and Opening, and I still have my normal summon left, which doesn't improve my state a bit, but I still try to play through it because he already saw my deck. I already wanted to like play through his board. Since he already knows my deck, like there is enough time, and I just wanted to like try to play through his board. So the next thing was just to go for like normal summon Kit, because if I go for Opening, this card he'll just Dragon Lord negate, and I waste two cards for nothing. And also there's like a pretty cool play if like Spring and Skid resolves to get how do you call it? To get like the Branded in red. Like you'll see right now, yeah, this resolves. Like it makes sense for this to resolve actually. It's also good that this is your normal summon because your opponent wouldn't waste like a monster negate because this also puts back a card. And whatever I add from Spring and Skid, like he expects to add Branded Fusion, he can just negate with the Spright Carrot. So in hindsight, that was correct for him not to negate. So yeah, this is okay. I just add Branded in red. And I just need to put back one card, which was called by the grave because it doesn't do anything at the moment. Like he doesn't have hand traps, obviously, or even if he does, like I need to keep like the two rest of the cards in my hand, which are like Opening and Albas for the play I'm thinking to do. So yeah, here I just think what to do like very quickly, and of course it's just branded in red to target like the Shrouded Dragon. So my goal here was just to make Guardian Chimera and try to draw cards, and praying I get like Trust or Branded Fusion from this, because otherwise I wasn't playing through the Spright Carrot Negate. I don't have like any way to run over it with this hand or like bait it except this way. So I just needed to play like this resolved. So yeah, he just thinks for a moment here. So the so like letting this go is like probably fine. Like it makes sense for the Spright Carrot not to negate it because he just expects my hand to have Branded Fusion, so he just holded the Spright Carrot for Branded Fusion. And then here I like the last two cards are like opening an Albas for me, which he doesn't know, but my play is just to make a chain block Chimera by either summoning Tragedy or Search Tragedy. So that's what I do. I wanted to make a chain blocked Chimera and just prey on my draw. I still had like a lot of draws. I could draw like Trust, Branded Fusion, Shrouded Dragon I think, like could draw me as well. I just had like a lot of draws here. I think like the only misplay I do here is like you see in the moment. I think like I do a little misplay here. Yeah, I just need to summon the Tragedy first. So what I could do is like either add Tragedy to hand or like just summon it here. I decided just to summon it because I think even if I drew Branded Fusion from the two draws, if I add a Tragedy to hand, he just has like so many interruptions like the Spright Smashers and the Carrot and the Sprint that even if I draw Branded Fusion and resolve it, I would still lose. So I had to gamble on this one. That I draw Branded Fusion for like that one draw. It's a big risk, yes, but you just have to do it in this state. You don't have like any other play under the Spright Carrot. You just need to like get rid of the Spright Carrot and the Smashers as well. So yeah, I just go like Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink 2 Tragedy, and I also hope like he doesn't activate any effects here, like the Sprint or the Dragon Lord. Like if he does, it's fine. I just need to like start baiting the negates. And also like it's Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink 2 Tragedy, so I know Chimera will resolve at this point. If he had Effect Veiler, I think he would have used it on the Spring and Skid. And if he saves it for right now, then yeah, I just lose the game. But as I said earlier, if he had like any other hand trap in hand as interruption, I lose. So he activates the Dragon Lord to negate the Tragedy, which I'm fine with. I already used my normal summon for Spring and Skid, so that's fine. And then he just I think he activates like Dragon Lord to bounce the Chimera, which it's understandable because it's a big body and can run over like the Spright Carrot as well, or like anything else. So here I just draw only one card, and I just pray it's like a good draw to like let me break through this. Like you rely on luck, but you don't have a choice in this case, as I said. If you want to play through the full board, you just have to rely on the luck here. So here I think what to pop, and obviously like best way, the best things to pop are like obviously the Spright Carrot, and I think like you always want to pop the Smashers. Like he will like he still has follow-up in hand, like he added I think he added the Keras from Nervo. That means like if he resolves his if I pop Sarcophagus, like he will still like OTK me next turn. So I just have to pray here that I break his board and like either puppet lock him or set up enough interruptions. So I draw a lure from Chimera, which was like pretty lucky. I just draw two and I just banished like the Allure, which was fine. So the next draw was like also pretty funny. It was like another Allure. So he doesn't have like any more interruptions except that Spright Sprint. I know that. Like it's only one bounce, which was like the weakest, as I said. If it's only Sprint alone against like Branded Fusion, it's pretty bad. So I just like banish the Tri-Brigade Mercurier here, which also gets me another search, which was like pretty good because the last card in my hand is like also like the draw I needed. But also this was like very good draw. Like I just needed any dark here to banish from Allure. But this was like the best one. Like the gamble just paid off basically. So here I just add the Cartesia, I think, because the last card in my hand was like like a good draw, and yeah, you'll see like in a minute. Let's just yeah, I add Cartesia here because a lot of people will just figure out right now the last card in my hand is like a way to get to Branded Fusion or Branded Fusion, which is Trust. So yeah, here I just add the Branded Fusion anymore, like there's no more interruptions to stop me, except the sprint, I know that. So if I play through the sprint and set up enough interruptions, I win, which actually, like, this is a pretty good play, like, what to do here. Like, this is like how to play through interruptions bestly. So yeah, I just activate Fusion and I just, this is like the only thing play, I need to play against. So I could like make Mirror Jade here, like I could like make Lubellion here or Albion, but I had actually another play, which was summoning Titaniclad because Sprint cannot bounce Titaniclad because Titaniclad is unaffected by monsters that are special summoned from the extra deck. Which is pretty good because that also like gives me like a free Lubellion summon, and in end phase I get to summon Fallen of Albas from deck, and it gives me like a free fusion summon in the end phase too. Which is like pretty good thing to know in these board states. Like a lot of people will just do like Albion or something, which is probably still fine, but what I wanted to do here was also not resolve Albion because I know this is a light monster and I actually want to do like Borreload Furious Dragon, like you just make Albion and then make Borreload Furious Dragon and pop the King Sarcophagus. Because it was actually impossible here to get to Gimmick Puppet, I think, because because I already used the Branded in red. I only played one at the time, so I couldn't like get to Gimmick Puppet, I think, or I could probably get to the Gimmick Puppet, but it wasn't as safe as like my other plays. Because if I chose the Gimmick Puppet line, I only ended on like only Gimmick Puppet. If I chose the other lines, I ended on like Mirror Jade, Borreload, Furious, and like Mercurier, I think. Which was much better against like something like Called by the Grave top deck, but much worse probably against like stuff like Forbidden Droplet and Talent. But I'm not sure. Like to, um, I also wanted to like hurry up and not think about the line much because I knew the line was winning anyway. So yeah, here I just summon Lubellion and get to Branded Lost. And then I just special summon Cartesia. The first one was special summoned from deployment, which which I wanted to like get Cartesia here just to like send my actual original plan was never to get to Mirror Jade here. I just get back the Cartesia to hand. I just wanted to make like Borreload Furious Dragon because it was much better interruption against like the King Sarcophagus. And as I said, like against every light deck, I also do this. Like I just always don't activate, try to not activate Albion in the main phase. And then like summon the Albion in the end phase, and then you banish two dragons, make Borreload, like you see right now. I think like this is actually the best play against the decks that summon light monsters. So yeah, I just summon the Albion here. I just summon like Albion here just to make Borreload, and this gives you a free Borreload, and like Albion will also get sent to grave. Because if you go for the Mirror Jade line, you have to activate Mirror Jade, banish the Dragon Lord, and Mirror Jade is like not active anymore, and which is like still fine because you can still like make a lot of stuff, but I just prefer Borreload because I can also make Mirror Jade on my opponent's turn. Whenever he summons a monster from the extra deck or a dark monster, I can still make it, but Borreload can also pop the King Sarcophagus because Horus monsters are actually annoying to deal with if you don't have like this card and you have like a Mirror Jade, for example. They're actually very annoying to deal with, and yeah, I just go like Borreload to pop the Dragon Lord, because if I pop Sarcophagus now, next turn Dragon Lord can bounce like the Borreload Furious Dragon or Cartesia. I didn't want that to happen. I could pop the King Sarcophagus on his turn. So here I just add Mercurier. I didn't want to add anything else. And from Albion I add Branded in High Spirits, because I just wanted more discards for Albas. Because like my next play was actually like to get Albas to fuse away his monsters, and I needed the discards for that. So yeah, I know like he has the Keras and then like the two Horus monsters in grave, so I could pop with Borreload Furious right now. However, I didn't think it was good enough for me to do so. I thought about just I thought about just letting him play because the two Horus monsters summoning is fine because you see the play I do right now is like they are not threatening anymore. Like I just let this go, that's fine. And also because of Branded Lost, if I fuse them away, they cannot trigger their effects. Because my fusion effect will be Chainlink 1 and they cannot activate their Horus effects, like either the Imseti or the Happy. So he just special summons both and here I think like now to interrupt because like my original plan was not to puppet lock, but just to like I just make Grangino here, just to send the Rinbrom from the extra deck. That way I can Rinbrom summon the Albas in my grave and fuse away the Imseti into Lubellion and then into Mirror Jade. This also requires less than puppet I think, but you get like way more interruptions. And then I just trigger Lost because I also want to keep Mercurial. Like that way I also have like Mercurial in hand to discard as a negate. So in the end, like after I break his board, I have like Borrelot Furious Dragon to pop, Mercurial in hand, Mirror Jade, and Albus Fuse away, which is like 4 interruptions without puppet, which is like pretty much like game over. Even if he tries to play through that, if he doesn't OTK me that turn, I win next turn because with the branded follow-up, like you should just never lose. So I just special summoned the Albas. I added the Shrouded Dragon because I wanted to discard something that's like kinda useless. And Shrouded Dragon also can send me like a branded retribution for next turn. So yeah, like that's also my thought process. Like I can just like activate Shrouded Dragon in Grave, send retribution and get back branded fusion in rotation. And I also keep the Mercurian in hand that way. And also right now he cannot activate the Happy effect to get back 2 cards. I just like summon Mirror Jade here. I can think to return like one of these, but I also wanted like the Lubellion here in rotation in my extra deck, even if it somehow gets to grind game, which I know it won't be, because I can like Lubellion at any point of the game and just if I give Lubellion in the extra deck, my grind game is just almost infinite. Whereas if I shuffle like one of these two right now, it doesn't like extend my game any further, and I don't need Titanic Quad or Rinbrom. So I just summon Mirror Jade here, which is fine. So I just let him play for now, like this one Horus doesn't do anything and I can just banish it at any time. I just didn't want him to like summon any rank 8 or something, or like just go into battle phase. And I also just wanted to like mirror fuse away his Happy like very early, because that way, even if he makes some weird rank 8 XYZ that I cannot somehow like fuse away or something, like I don't know. Like I was just really wanted to do a mirror jade like right here because it's also like enables my Mercurial interruption alive. Like Mercurial is also alive right now in hand. So right now I just do mirror jade to like start interrupting, and then I just banish the Happy here. I banish the Happy first because if I banish the Keras first, he can he can like get 2 back. I could also like chain the Borlot and pop 2, but I didn't want to do that. I just prefer the Happy to be banished because he cannot use the Sarcophagus anymore to return it. And yeah, he just scoops up here. So yeah, that game was like pretty interesting, like how to play through the boards and set up interruptions, and also like more of a different perspective, like how to play the game with Branded. So yeah, this was like I would just like skip to the next game at this point. So yeah, here we go to game 2. And then I think he just makes the same board all over again. He summons Beaver, special summons Beaver, which was pretty weird to not summon Angler. He probably plays only one. Probably, I don't know, or he just thought about like playing more weird, I don't know, just I mean like playing like just more safe and like just save the Nimble Angler in the deck. So now he just does his Spright combo all over again. He adds the Spright Smashers, which is like this. I expect just the same board as game 1, and my hand was like a double Droplet, Eclipse, High Spirits, and Talents, which was like not the best hand, of course, like to play through interruptions. But I knew if I top deck like any engine and he didn't have any foot gate, I win. So yeah, I was like pretty okay with that because I had like a lot of engine to top deck. Like with this hand, if you top deck any engine, I think you win the game. Because like if you open like one engine here, like any way to branded fusion, like these five breakers, you should be like, or like these ways. And also with high spirits was also pretty easy for me because also any dragon that I top deck, I could just high spirits bridge it and get into engine. But my top deck was of course the third droplets, which yeah wasn't like the best. I could probably just so like here's like my thought process. What I do is I try to go to battle phase. I try to go to battle phase because I think he will activate like Tri-Brigade Revolt or something just to enable like talents in the main phase or something. Like I just try to do that. And yeah, he doesn't like take the bait. So I just set the triple droplet in the one eclipse, just pray I survive until next turn. And just hope like next turn I top deck engine. Like there is still hope, of course, like but I didn't have any engine to play the game. Like any engine with this hand was like I think I could like play through the board very well. Of course, if this wasn't like a deep barrier or something, which he didn't review, of course. Like the game was pretty quick, but you still try to play with that. Like there is like always like ways with branded, even with like bricks, to like try to play the game. Even in my like I think round 11 against Tempai, I opened like again like Trust, Double Eclipse, Droplet, I think High Spirits and Tragedy. So he ended on Seals and like three cards in hand. So I just wanted to activate the Trust, so I just normal summon Tragedy, attack into like Seals. He activates the Seal to bounce the Feud spell. And then he just summons like a Tempai Dragon. He makes Transcendent Dragon in battle phase, so Tragedy crashes into Dragon. And then I activate Trust to get Branded Fusion, and I just activate Branded Fusion and win the game from there. But yeah, there's like always angles like this with Branded that help you play with against like the boards. Even with like the worst hands, you can like still play the game, which is like pretty cool aspect of the deck as well. So he just activates Sarcophagus here, and you just have to okay this for now. My hope here was just for him to go battle phase or activate Eclipse. I'll give him a few draws, sure, but yeah, this was like still pretty weird. If I give him like a few draws and he draws into hand traps, like I still lose the game, yes, but I didn't see like any hand traps until that moment, so I think he only plays like engine and like probably some breakers, I guess, probably in his deck. I don't know, like I just didn't see like his non-engine in the deck to tell. I only saw his engine. I only saw Ash Blossom, which he may only play the Ash Blossom, who knows. But yeah, I just had to like survive next turn and probably get an engine. So I let him resolve this, not dropleting this, because what was the chance? Like I had triple droplet and one eclipse set. So he hits, so I always let him resolve this and he hits the forbidden droplet, which is fine. I already have two more sets, so it's fine. So my hope here was just to go for like eclipse. I'll give him like 4 draws, sure, but at least I survived the turn. So yeah, he can only swing for like 44 damage. And he just attack with the Keras. I activate Eclipse. And yeah, he just activates Ash Blossom. So yeah, this was like game over at this point. And yeah, but I just still try to survive with this. Like he had a pretty good hand as well. Like he had, but he didn't end on the full board, which was pretty weird to me. Which tells me like he either had the barrier set or like some float gate. Or yeah, but his hand was like good enough anyways. So yeah, now we are just siding and we can just like skip to the next game. So here like my hand was like pretty good. My hand was like Branded Fusion, Shrouded Dragon, Alba, Salubar and Allure. No, it was a kit, not Alba, sorry, which I banished from Allure, my bad. I kinda like try to remember the hands on my mind right now. So I just banished the Springed's kit, which was like most useless card in my hand because I wanted to keep like the cards in my hand. like every other card. I wanted to keep a Luber as normal summon. So I just normal summon a Luber, activate effect. And the Luber will grab me just branded in high spirits. Because here if he has Ash Blossom I'm fine with that because I grabbed branded in high spirits because I have like either Saronir or Shrouded in hand. Yeah, I had Shrouded and Saronir in hand, which if I resolve branded in high spirits like in this game state with Shrouded, this is still puppet lock, even if he ashes the branded fusion. So that's why you always add this card when you expect to get ashed. So I just activate branded in high spirits. Also need to check if he will ash that or not. Because some people actually do, which is correct. If ash is your only card, you always... If ash is your only hand trap, you most of the time you should ash this card. But yeah, I just like sent Titaniclad here and I add Cartesia. Like this was just the full combo if he didn't have hand traps. Like this was the full combo. And I just special summon the Cartesia here. And then, so rest of my hand was like Duplication, Saronir and Branded Fusion. Which like, even if Branded Fusion doesn't resolve, like my hand was just still insanely good. And he lets this go through, which means like his hand is like either breakers or he only bricked on engine. Or like he probably has like Veyor or Imperm. Something like that. Like only one hand trap, which against this hand it's never enough. So yeah, here we just make the full combo. Like this is just standard full combo. But in game states like this, you always like try to get to branded loss. Like branded loss being on the board is just so oppressive that it's almost like impossible to out the full combo with branded loss because otherwise if you don't have branded loss you will just lose to forbidden droplet or cards like that. Whereas if you have branded loss, like they cannot droplet the Sanctifier Dragon under lost. So I just make Mirror Jade here and I just go Saronir effect, send a Retribution. So yeah, next is just summon Lubellion, effect of Lubellion. So at this point I could have probably made the combo better, but I was also close to time and I wanted to like puppet lock him fast as possible and then just get another turn as well. Which is of course like 9 minutes here. And I didn't play like a time card like Masquerade, which was objectively wrong for 12 round tournament. But yeah, here I just try to like play the combo ASAP, like not to make it better. I could probably like make a better combo here, but I just wanted to like make it standard and make it fast. Just because I know he won't break that for sure. But yeah, here I just sent the Gimmick Puppet as well. Because I have Duplication in hand, like, my goal was just to activate Duplication to summon Sanctifier Dragon. And just know that under Duplication, if I summon Sanctifier, I go Chainlink 1 like Lost, Chainlink to Sanctifier, people can respond to like Sanctifier. Because it copies the effect to Fusion Summon, like you can read the branded lost text, this is like the only effect, like it's Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. They are like the same with Fusion Duplication, that you can actually respond here with like Droplet or whatever, but even if he droplets like the Sanctifier, I'm fine with that, because I still have branded in Red Mercurial, Albas Engrave, I still have like everything except Gimmick Puppet, which is like plenty of interruptions to win the game. But I just wanted to like try to resolve that Gimmick Puppet lock and win. And here I just go for a Shrouded Dragon to send the opening, like that didn't matter. Although I just wanted the Shrouded to be gone from grave. And also if he plays like some gimmicky board breaker like Dark Hole or Raigeki, which could happen. I didn't like expect it fully, I just wanted to get rid of the Shrouded Dragon in grave. And yeah. Here I just get back the Cartesia to hand, just to have more discards for Albas, in case it gets to that point, which it shouldn't. And I go for like Albion to set branded in red. So yeah, I just don't have an Albas engrave, which Titanic Quad into Quem just fixes that, and Quem can just send another Albas here. So I just go Quem, send Albas. And yeah, I just like pass turn for now. Like he just draws for turn, and here in draw phase you ask if he has a response because he can respond because he's a turn player if he had anything. And then I just go fusion duplication to try to make Sanctifier Dragon. Like I said, if he summons Sanctifier here, he can respond to it because it's from fusion duplication. Normally, if it's like from branded in red, he cannot. He can like forbidden droplet the Sanctifier, which is actually fine because if he activates droplet in draw phase without any cards on field, he needs to like droplet discard like at least 2 cards, which is to negate Mirror Jade of course, and Sanctifier Dragon, which is fine because he hand looped himself for 3 cards. And I still have like Mirror Jade, Quem, Granguno, Mercurial in hand, and Mirror Jade can send a Rindbrom to like summon Albas on his turn. But yeah, the Gimmick Puppet resolves here and I just win the game, which yeah, this wasn't a very educational game, it was just more of a knowing that under duplication you can respond and like how to do the full combo. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational for you. And yeah, I will post like the next feature match in the next couple of days. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it and see ya.